Hi guys, hope you're all well. So I'm just coming on to do a little bit of a video for you guys this evening, and it's just something I've been really thinking about. I've been meditating, and it's something that kind of keeps coming up, and I'm having conversations with clients, I'm having conversations with people that are private messaging me, and basically at the moment with the environment, the way the world is, a lot of us are getting really caught up in being the victim. And this is something that we all have to start to look at and start changing, because actually we're all the doorkeepers of our own destiny. And it's very hard when somebody has been put through a level of abuse. It could be a very sort of disrespectful partner that's turned against us and become toxic. There could be a job that we've been cast away from. There could be breakdowns in communication with family members or friends. There could be so many things, there could be so many reasons as to why we end up devaluing ourselves through these other people's, ways of being towards us. But that's just something I've really noticed lately. A lot of people are choosing to stay stuck. A lot of people are choosing to be the victim of their past or whatever they've been through. And we all have a past. We've all been put through craziness, toxic energy, drama at some period of our life. But we're also the doorkeeper of our own destiny. And there comes a point in time where we have to just say, enough. I'm not prepared to accept that way of living. I'm not prepared to accept that way of being anymore. So if you're somebody that has been really, really struggling in recent months, recent times, just look at where you're feeding your inputs and your outputs. Sometimes if somebody has hurt you, if somebody has robbed you, it's so easy to send fire, to send anger to them. But when we do that, who really is getting hurt? Does that person actually know that you're sending those feelings and have those, ways of seeing how their behaviour is? Probably not. The only person really getting hurt in the long run is ourselves. And what we really need to do is look at the way that we choose to respond to things. Okay, it's so important to take accountability. And very often when people have been hurt, when they've been sabotaged, when they've been let down by somebody, particularly if they've given their heart centre to that person, whether, like I say, it's a relationship, it could be a job that you've put your heart and soul into, it could be a family member that's turned against you, a friend, whoever it is, we can only be accountable for our inputs and our outputs. How somebody chooses to respond to our energy is kind of outside of our control, and in a lot of ways is actually none of our business to know. So what we need to start doing is giving ourselves the gift of self-love, giving ourselves the gift of self-acceptance, not needing to seek it from a partner, a boss at work, a family member, a friend. Give ourselves permission to receive that from ourselves to ourselves. And honestly, it's one of the best things you can do, because when you give yourself that gift of acceptance, you will find that their whole way of being changes. For so many people I read for, they might be going through grief, they might be going through toxic energy with a partner in terms of a divorce, or things that might be quite abusive, and it is so easy to give our light away. But to actually hold space and just celebrate ourselves, that's almost impossible at times, but it's something so easy that all of us can do. So if you're watching this video and you feel like you're somebody that has become victimized by the circumstances you are surrounded in, get yourself a notebook. Okay, get yourself a notebook, get yourself a pen, and I've got a challenge for you. And I want you to write down 3 things each day that you're blessed, that you're grateful of, that you value within yourself, that you value that day has brought you. Because so many of us, when we wake up of a morning, we overlook our first gift from the universe. And that gift is the gift of life, the gift of breath within our body. But for some of us, we're in such a restrictive, in such a dark place with our mental thoughts, we don't even acknowledge that that exists within our world. We don't even see that the universe has gifted us the breath of life. And sometimes we're so strict, we've put so much expectation on ourselves to be more than we can be, we're actually giving away our power at every opportunity rather than standing tall within it. And that cycle really has to change. So if you are somebody that is watching this and you don't value yourself, you don't feel great about yourself, you don't really like or love yourself, only you can change that. The mental mind is a little bit like a magnet. What we think we attract, and in turn what we become. So if we think everything is doom and gloom, everything is going to be doom and gloom. Okay, only we can change the energy there. But I'm a firm believer that all of us are the doorkeepers of our own destiny. And we don't have to accept somebody else's limitation. Somebody may have played away, somebody may have cheated on you, somebody may have not valued yourself enough. That doesn't mean you have to devalue yourself just because that person let you down. Another thing that's really, really important to do, which some people find almost impossible to do, but if you can give yourself permission to do it, it's one of the most powerful things you'll actually experience. And that is to give people the gift of unconditional love. So if somebody has hurt you, if somebody has let you down, in your mind, maybe just do a little bit of a mini meditation and go back to that period of time where you were hurt, where you were let down by that person, and just send them a beautiful green ball of unconditional love. And you might be questioning that and thinking, why the hell will I give somebody that's hurt me? And it's not about forgiving, it's not about, changing that behaviour, it's not about pretending it never happened. It's about you freeing yourself from the shackles that perhaps are binding you. And sending unconditional love to another person doesn't mean that we forgive them. It doesn't mean that we agree with what we were put through. But it's about valuing ourselves enough to be the bigger person, to be able to say, yeah, I went through that toxic energy, I went through that darkness, but I was still able to give that person what is missing in their own vibration, which is ultimately the vibration of unconditional love. If somebody hurts you, if somebody lets you down, very often it's because they have an inability to love themselves. And it's far easier for them to sabotage, to bring your energy, your character down, than actually invest in who they are. Unfortunately, that is a typical narcissistic trait that a lot of people come up against, whether, like I say, it's with a relationship, a family member, a boss, it could be so many things. But give yourself that gift of unconditional love and send it freely to the world, because love is the vibration that can overcome all of those darker times. And like I say, it's not about forgiving the other person, it's about freeing yourself from the experience. Because when you send hurt, when you send anger, when you think in your mind, what's that person doing, what are they up to, ultimately, that person or circumstance that you're up against doesn't really give a shit. It's not thinking about you, it's investing in themselves. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to be investing in yourself, not actually giving your power away freely, but standing back within it and recharging yourself, celebrating all the greatness that you hold within your own heart center. You might overlook it at this immediate moment in time, and you might fail to see its existence, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Give yourself complete permission to see, to celebrate the greatness that lies within you. The fact that you're still here to tell your own story, regardless of what you've been put through, is amazing. That in itself is enough. So I'm working with the magical the Making Magical Oracle cards this evening, and I'm just going to pick us a card for the highest of good as a collective energy, because so many of us need to change that cycle, need to change that pattern. You know, so many of us think that the universe is out to get us. We might be struggling to get that job we want. We might be struggling to get the house we want. We might be struggling to move on past a relationship because we feel somebody is holding us back. But all of these things are actually blockages from ourselves. And when we're in that headspace, we're actually self-sabotaging. And it's so easy to do. It's so easy to give our light away. But if I was to say to you, when did you last stop and celebrate yourself? I bet a lot of you would struggle to tell me realistically when that was. And each and every day, there is always something to celebrate. For some of us, it might just be getting out of bed of a morning and having our cereal and actually facing the world. That might be the gift. That might be the celebration. That might be the blessing. For others, it might be more advanced. It doesn't matter. Each day as it comes. But give yourself permission to move on past the restrictions of what you've been put through. Don't stay the victim, guys. Become the doorkeeper of your own destiny, because life is so short and you don't want to look back with regrets. And that's something as a medium that I come into contact with quite a lot. When loved ones in the spirit world, they do sometimes say they wish they'd done all those things that they were unsure about. There's a great quote by Cher, and I actually have quoted it in the end of my book, in my Stranger in This World book, for anybody that has read that. And it talks about, until you have the chance, or until you give yourself permission to look foolish, you'll never have the opportunity to be great. And it's so, so true. So don't worry about what you've been subjected to. Don't worry about your past. Give yourself permission to put your best foot forward. And I'm asking a card for us as a collective for the highest of good. And the great thing with this particular deck, I'll show you the box in case any of you want to purchase this. These have magical witches symbols, and you can actually use them. You can draw the symbols upon you. So you can draw them on your heart center, around a room. You could draw them on a piece of paper and put them above a doorway. And they're really great to amplify the energies of what we might be needing at this time. But I'm asking a card for the highest of good. For anybody that's feeling stuck in this energy of being victimized, how can you move past that? How can you move on from that experience? Okay, so we've got the Philosopher's Stone here. So this is the symbol that you would draw. And it just says here, powerful manifestation of wishes and goals by harnessing universal energy. So it's really an extension of what I've just said. What the mind thinks, the mind attracts, and the mind becomes. So if we want something positive, if we want something great, we can have those dreams, we can have those goals, we can have those wishes and desires. But more than that, we need to believe within self that we are entitled to receive those things. And a lot of people have the goal, they have the dream, they have the wish, but when it comes to it, they don't believe that they're good enough to receive it. And belief is all that you need in order to obtain all that your heart desires. So if you feel at this moment in time as you're watching this video that you are a victim of your past, if you feel like you're a victim of a person that's robbed you of something, give yourself permission to go back in your mind in a meditative state, send that situation, send that person that you're up against, send them unconditional love, not because they deserve it, but so you can free yourself from their clutches, from the energy lines, and watch your world change for the better. You will be so surprised. You will become the doorkeeper of your own destiny, and you will unlock doors you never even realized you had access to. Use the power of the symbol, the Philosopher's Stone, and give yourself permission to move past what you feel you might be up against at this moment in time. So I wish you guys all the best luck. Stay safe, stay well. Remember to see the blessings of life within the darkness you might be currently facing. Okay? And light will always overcome the darker times. And I'll catch you guys again soon. Much love and blessings. Stay safe, stay well, and welcome and celebrate each day that you're blessed to be gifted. Love and blessings, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.